Oh my gosh, found it. Oh, I'm so excited, so excited.
So earlier this year, I went to Yosemite with some friends to capture firefall, had a lot of fun. But on our way back to the airport, we stopped by the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco to capture some photos. We went to a place called Hawk Hill, but it was so saturated with so many tourists capturing the same exact angle, and the photos I took were okay. I just wanted more of a unique perspective. And so 1 week later, I went back to San Francisco, took my Sony a7R5 and the 70-200 G Master Lens Mark II, and shot this. Now real quick, this video is sponsored by Luminar Neo, which is the photo editing app that I use to edit these photos. It's become my new favorite, really easy to use, but I'll show you how I edited these photos later in the video.
Okay, I made it, and it's very windy here. Very windy day in San Francisco. Oh my gosh. Oh, I found it. Whoa! Okay, this is gonna be sick.
Now the place that I found was called the Golden Gate Scenic Overlook, just south of the bridge, and you can easily drive and park there.
All right, so this is gonna be my camera setup. This is a Sony a7R5, and the lens I'm using is a 70-200 G Master Lens Mark II. I loosened the ring a little bit just so I can switch from horizontal mode to vertical mode, and so yeah, found the spot. Oh, just in case you're wondering, there is a parking lot that you can bring your car to right over there. And I'm positioned right over here in this area, right by this tree. And the spot that you want to go for is the bridge right there between those two trees.
Now the reason why I wanted to use this lens specifically is because I really wanted to compress the background. In other words, bring the background closer to the foreground. Compressing the background all the time isn't necessarily the right choice, it just depends on the subject matter. But with something as grand as the Golden Gate Bridge, like compressing an object that large just makes for a really interesting image.
All right, so camera is ready to go. Look at that, I framed the composition between those two trees. No one's there, so I'm gonna go hop in and take a shot. Here we go.
Oh, 70-200.
70-200.
That's the one.
Right.
That's the one. If you want to capture the car.
That's right.
If I stand there where they are, you can take my picture.
I could if you want.
Okay, so the funny thing about being a photographer out in the wild is that you get asked a lot, hey, can you take my photo, whatever. So a couple of strangers have asked me to take photos of them with the bridge in the background, so that's what I'm gonna do.
That's yours, you're the closest one. Accept it, and your photo should show up in a couple seconds. Boom.
Oh, you a star.
I'm a YouTuber. Is it okay if I share some of these photos on my YouTube channel?
Oh, sure, man.
Yeah? Okay,
what's your
cool.
YouTube?
Enjoy it, yeah.
So much.
You got it, man. No problem. That was fun. I might just start shooting portraits for strangers. Whatever, free of charge. Now the cool thing about the a7R5 is that you can go into crop mode, and so I'm gonna press my custom button to go into crop mode. Oh, hold on, it's all right, here we go, that's full frame. Now I'm gonna go into crop mode. Ooh, okay, let's see what the shot looks like. Oh my gosh, I got the shot. I'm so pleased, so pleased.
All right, got the shot, really happy with it. But I noticed a lot of people walking all the way there. They're not coming to this spot specifically, but there's something over there, and I don't see the people anymore. So I think the hidden gem is somewhere over there. So we're gonna go find out.
Oh wow, that's a really cool shot. Okay, wow, all right, this is even better. Check this out. There's the bridge. There's some really cool looking trees, and I'm just gonna get a shot through the trees and hopefully get the bridge. Wow, okay, I can see why this is a cool spot.
Now editing these photos was really easy, especially when using a tool like Luminar Neo. You can use it as a standalone platform or as a plugin with Photoshop. But we're gonna use the standalone app right now, and I'm gonna show you how I made these edits. Now what's cool about Luminar Neo is that it uses AI to enhance your image. We'll start here with Enhance, and it's all about making gradual adjustments. And so I'm just gonna bring this accent slider here just by a bit. Well, let's just bring it all the way so you can see the difference between the two. And so here it's using AI to determine how well to enhance your photo. So that's a mixture of brightness and contrast and bringing up the midtones. And it's all about subtleties here. We don't want to do it too much. Right about there looks pretty good. And if you want to see a before and after, just click on the eye icon over here. Before, after, there you go. It's slightly enhanced. We're going to do the same thing with Sky Enhancer. Just bring up the slider just a little bit. Just darken those skies. We'll see what it looks like before, after. All right, I like it. Now, one of my favorite features of Luminar Neo is Sky. It's essentially a sky replacement tool that uses AI, and it's super easy to use. Let's see, I'm not a big fan of the sky and the clouds in the background. We could probably find something more interesting, so we're gonna go to the sky selection box. Let's just pick this option over here, and boom. I mean, look how cool and realistic that looks. Here's what it looks like before, and after. Like that looks pretty sick. And once you found the sky that you like, you can make enhancements to the sky, making it more realistic, and then really just go down to tools and make adjustments as you see fit. And if you like a specific look that you just made, you can save all your adjustments as a preset. In fact, I made one already, so let's go ahead and just undo everything that we just did, back to the original. We'll go to presets, my preset, Golden Gate Bridge, and every adjustment that you just made, including the sky, will be added to your photos just like this. And once you're happy with all your edits, you can of course export, but how easy was it to change this photo from this to this? Pretty easy with Luminar Neo. All right, back to the video.
Now, why should you get a 70-200 lens? Well, why not? I mean, I wouldn't recommend it as your very first lens if you're starting out for the very first time. In fact, the lens that I do recommend for first timers is getting a 24-70 standard zoom lens because it covers all the classic focal lengths. And then when you're ready to upgrade, you can either get a 16-35 wide lens or a 70-200 telephoto zoom lens. And once you have all three, you can get yourself a sweet prime lens like a 50mm or 85. And the whole point for all of that is so that you have a variety of lenses to choose from to shoot any given project. And if you're ready to add an additional lens to your camera bag, whether you're a Sony, Canon, Nikon, or Fuji shooter, then I highly recommend getting a 70-200 telephoto zoom lens.
I cannot tell you how happy I am right now. Like, this has been a bucket list shot for me, and bonus that I found a second location to take an even better shot. So wow, so cool. I feel like I want to do a how I got this shot series, and so if there are like locations around the world that you want me to take photos of, then yeah, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so thrilled today. Good day today. All right guys, bye.